to another video on ASA official PVE. In this video we're gonna go into the Labyrinth on Ragnarok to get the artifacts Skylord, Massive and Devious. We are running to the entrance and I'll be going over the necessities. I'm taking in a pyromane, primitive flag, a scuba tank and flippers, med brews, a torch and a melee weapon. Food and drinks and a pack of mastics for a sacrificial purpose. This can also be a dodo, for example. You could take a Veilwind to save yourself from all the insta death in case you miss a jump, but I'll explain that at the end of the video. The exact cohorts of the entrance are 51 by 77. Let's get started. In the first room you have to spell out the word DRAKKAR. You're entering on floor 1 and there's a floor lower. You gotta start at the lowest floor and click the button of the letter D. Then you go back to floor 1 and click the button R. You gotta do these floors one by one. So for the letter A, you go to the bottom floor. For the first letter K, you gotta go to floor 1. For the second letter K, you gotta go back to the bottom floor. For the letter A, you gotta go back to floor 1. And for the last letter, letter R, you have to press a secret button for a door to open and you will find letter R. That's the secret button. A door will open up and you will find the letter R. We run back up top and we will see the boat door opening up, so we jump in. We jump into the water. Depending on how long it takes you to fill in the password, I recommend filling your canteen in this water, if you have one. From the water you follow the path with the fires on the sides until you see a door opening up. Once you reach this door, I recommend staying prone. People have been telling me you can stay crouched, but I've seen people getting burned crouched and I died myself too staying crouched. Hence why I stay prone. There's 4 buttons in this room. 2 on the left and 2 kind on the right. You gotta press the left button closest to the door first. Then you gotta press the second left button. In this video you will see a lot of invisible doors, but I know which doors to go to, so I know that there's a door blocking our path. They show invisible, but you can't go through them. We prone all the way to the other side to hit the third button. It's kinda in the middle of this wall, next to that skeleton. Then we gotta go to the statue that's breathing fire, hence why we are prone. And we gotta hit the 4th button. Once we've pressed all 4 buttons, we take the left door. This is the route towards the Skylord, while the right side door is the route to the Clever. If you want to see this route, I also have a video on this one. But onto the Skylord. After this door, this is where our Scuba comes in. So we equip our Scuba, we jump in, and follow the path to the right. And around the corner, we instantly take a right again. We swim into a pretty big room, and we swim straight to the other door. But we're not going through this door. We go through a hole in the ceiling just to the left of it. There it is. There is some creatures here, but with flippers you will pass them with ease. From here we basically follow the light up. Time to put on our flag again. A door will automatically open up for us. Again, invisible doors, don't mind this. Watch out for the spikes and go through the second door automatically opening up. We enter a room with a pillar in the middle with 4 buttons and 4 doors. We hit all the buttons on the pillar and go into the first left room. This is where we hit a button in the back. Then we enter the second room on the left and hit the button in that room. We then run back to the pillar to keep the doors opened, and we run into the third room to hit a button and the next door opens. Sometimes you have to hit the fourth room, and sometimes there will be creatures spawning in here, hence the pyro and the sword. In the second room we hit all the buttons on the pillar again and go into the second left door to hit the button. There is spikes here, but you can just hit those. The second left button, press the button, then into the third door on the right. Hit the buttons on the pillar in the middle again to keep the doors open. And I equip my torch for the Trudons in there. Hit the button in the first room on the left, the Trudon door, and the door will open. Hit the 2 buttons on the pillar in this door, and another door will open. In the following room there can be some raptors and a Rex at the red crate. But again, invisible doors that you actually have to open. Hit the buttons on the middle pillar, grab the crate and instantly run out. This is a trap room. So grab the crate and instantly run out and go through the other door. Oof. We did not make it on time. Don't worry, just hit the buttons again and go through that door. Luckily we don't get smushed by that door. Spiders will fall from the ceiling, but you can just keep running. So we run all the way through. And then we reach an area where we gotta equip our scuba again. We jump down and I'll show the door that we have to go through. Again, invisible. That's the door we gotta open. But as you can see, it's invisible, but I can't go through. First we head to the right side pillar and we hit the other buttons against the clock in order. There's a spino that spawns in here and I wanted to ignore him, but he made my life a little difficult. So I had to kill him. But I tried to go past him, it didn't work. He just kept pushing me away. I couldn't access the button. So I was like, alright, let's get rid of the spino first. He even broke my scuba! So rude! Once we hit all 4 buttons, the door will open. We go through the door, exit the water and equip our flag again. And we go through the wall that has a hole in it. From here on out, it's a jumping puzzle to go up to the next room. Don't worry if you fall down, just hit the buttons in the same order and the door will open again. I quickly up my gamma a bit. So if you fall down, go to the door, hit the button on the right and do them counterclockwise in order. Of course, I can't resist, and we also grab the red loot crate. And here we gotta jump on the pole to continue. Now I am terrible at jumping stuff. You'll see that further in the video. And eventually we see a lit up room that we have to go into. Now there is some enemies that can spawn in here, but somebody has a pyro here, so all the enemies were killed already. And this is where the actual pain begins. 3 massive jumping puzzles where one missed jump will mean instant death. You will see this happening also. Yay! I recommend watching these puzzles a couple times before you do this yourself, because sometimes you have to hit a button and then you're on a timer. If you're not on time, you have to go all the way back to hit the button again. But this is a little shortcut over here. Or you can have a tribe mate with you that keeps pressing the button, giving you all the time in the world. Like I said, I am terrible at jumping puzzles, and I literally jumped to my death. If you bring a veil in, you can put it on companion mode, make it sit and put all your stuff in there, so you at least don't lose it all. In the next part, you will see a part of my stream that is muted, because I'm also talking to chat in the meantime. I still wanted you to be able to see the route, but I really couldn't bear the pain unofficial to keep trying this cave to get a smooth run. Please forgive me. But hey, it's all about showing you how to do it and giving you all the information, right? I do cut out some parts here and there because I'm talking to chat, but I keep the entire route in the video. You will also see my alliance up ahead. This is my alliance that showed me this entire route. Thank you, Alliance. You'll hear a timer ticking down and the door behind you will close. If you're not on time, it'll close in front of you. Right, next jump. I slowly follow my alliance, because this is where you don't have to press a button. So I take it very slow, very careful, until we reach the part where we do have to press a button again. Now my alliance had it easy, because I could press the button for him and keep the door open so he could take all his time. But since I'm the second person, I had to hit the button and run against that timer. It's really nerve-wracking too, because you will hear that timer tick down and you just know you gotta speed it up, but you don't want to fall down. Now at this part, you're better off making small jumps instead of going around the blocks. Now, we all know that I'm a loot goblin, and there is a beautiful juicy red crate there. But since I said I am terrible at jumping puzzles, I literally did not grab this one. Now, like I said, in this part you can take your time until you hit another button. My alliance was up front, and I stayed at the button so that he could take his time to do his jumps, while I kept the door open at the button. But my alliance was awake for a very long time, and he misjumped. Died right at the end of it. So, I had to press the button, and of course, since I was the second person anyway, I had to do it very quickly. But luckily, we made it. Like I said before, I highly recommend watching the jumps before you do them yourself, so that you can kind of see which way you have to go. There's also some things hanging from the ceiling, which doesn't give you that great visibility. So, like I said, I highly recommend watching all these jumping puzzles before you do them. Now, I muted the video because it was from a live stream, but at this moment you can also hear the timer ticking down. When I made it, I was yelling like a mad woman. So again, I cut that part out, and from the jumping puzzle it's a safe path down to the Skylord Artifact. But since I didn't know this part, I took it very slow. From the artifact we reached the Sacrificial room, where you gotta toss in your sacrificial creature. This part of the video I took from the clever route, since it's the same from here on out. We will reach the spirit boss room eventually. Since this room only works after a server reset, I took this part from my clever artifact video. I did hear there's a fix incoming very shortly for this room, so hopefully this is fixed by the time you watch this video and try the cave yourself. But at least I can show you what to do in that room. If you toss in a sacrificial creature, the door on the left will open. But You can also sacrifice your teammate, and then the door to the right will open. In here, we run all the way to the other side. Look at where I jump. This is the door we are gonna open up. Right below me right here. So we jump. Behind the fallen structures is a button. So we press that one and the floor door behind us will open up. We jump into the water and we follow the lights. Watch out for the spikes. We gotta make a couple jumps. Over here, we also gotta make a couple jumps. And here are the square tiles again. And we hit a couple, so we gotta kill the enemies. One of the reasons I've met Bruce is for the rabies that the bats give. So keep an eye on your health. We killed the bats and we continue, but in this bit there are a couple more enemies, so I speed it up a little. After all the enemies, we hit a barrier. We gotta press the button on the left hand side, a little behind the bush, and the door will open up to the spirit boss's room. This is where we will get our artifacts. In this room you will find megalosaurs. I always kill those. And in the meantime bosses will spawn. Spirit bears and wolves. The more you kill, the higher level they get. As you can see, I also try to get some dermis of these because they look really cool. This video was made just after Ragnarok launched and the bosses had some issues. Sometimes they didn't spawn, which made you unable to continue. The door to the artifacts or exit will not open up. This is why I always bring a veil wing. If this happens, I dump everything I have on me in the veil wing. Cryo the pyros as well and put it in the veil wing. Put it on companion mode, respawn via my implant and go home. That way I don't have to leave it all behind. Except for the clever artifact that we already got. Oh yeah, I also livestream multiple days per week on Twitch and YouTube. You can find me on this channel or by my tag Gingerella on Twitch. The link can also be found in the description. This time I killed a lot of spirit bosses, but the barriers still wouldn't open. So I waited, and waited, and waited. I ran around, and I waited. Oh, there's another one. A couple more. It took very long. So I waited for about 20 minutes and I cut that part out. For eventually to get the pop-up, the spirits have calmed. The barrier opened up and we grabbed the two artifacts, Devious and Massive. There's also a red crate up top. So we flame leap to the crate and we grab it. We grab the crate and we gotta jump down from this because you can't exit from the other side. I'll show it real quick. Maybe you can open it on the bottom, but we have the pyromanes, so we just flame leaped up. Now that we have it all, it's time to run to the exit. From the artifacts, the exit is on your right hand side. We jump into the water and leave the cave by the sewers. This is a very straightforward route, so I won't have to explain much here. I want to thank my alliance also for showing me this route, the route to the Skylord. My apologies for the video not being one whole piece, but I do hope with the little editing skills that I have, you are at least familiar with the path that you have to take and the buttons you have to press. I am absolutely terrible at jumping puzzles and I tried to record it over and over again, losing about 10 pyromanes in the process. But you could take a Vilwin in, put all your gear in there, on companion mode, and make it sit at the jumping puzzles. If you make it sit, it won't follow you into the insta-death. This way, if you die, the Vilwin brings all your stuff home. Might be handy if you're an absolute terrible jumper like me. Since I record everything on official and wanted to have this video out sooner than later, I decided to put some pieces together. I hope this video was still helpful and a like or a comment is much appreciated. Because I mean, in the end, it's about showing the route, right? Don't judge me for my terrible jumping skills. I hope this video and the tips help you to get your hands on these 3 artifacts. Thanks for watching and I'd love to see you in the next one.